All right, so we are going to start making our Scratch game now. Make sure you sign into Scratch so that your name is up here. If you don't sign into Scratch, it will not save your work. So make sure that you're signed in up here. All right, now you've signed in. So let's start creating. Since we are making a World War I game, oh, sorry, I have so many things going on today. All right, since we're making a World War I game, we want to title it accordingly. And then I want to put my initials or my last name at the end of this. I'll put my initials today. So that when I turn it into Miss Riley, she knows who it is. Otherwise, we might risk not getting our points for the game. Okay, so we got a plain screen. We're brand new. A couple things we want to focus on is making sure that we have facts in our game and making sure the game looks like it's from World War I. So the first thing I'm going to do is pick some backdrops that look like they are from World War I. I can do this in two ways. I can choose a backdrop that's already in the library, which I might want to do. But right now, other than nature and maybe doing some grass, I don't see a category that will fit what I want. So if I decide there's not one here that I want, I have one more option. I can click cancel. I can open up a new tab that is Google, a Google page, and I can search for World War I photos. Remember, I want to go to images because that's where all the photos are. You know, since we've talked a lot about trench warfare, kind of like opening my game with either this picture or this picture. Now, yours does not have to look like mine because if our games look the same, we're going to be very boring and dull. So don't feel like you have to pick the same one. But if you also like this picture, we can have the same one today. Okay, going back to Scratch. I'm here. I have a photo saved on my computer. So I'm going to hit upload from file. And yours should be in the downloads tab over here. So if I click downloads, there it is. Open. Let's see what it looks like. Ooh, I like that. That looks really good. So if I wanted to add any drawings or anything, remember you can do that. But right now, I really like how this looks. So I'm not going to add anything. Let's get that out of the way. Okay. So as of right now, I have a backdrop 1, which is completely blank, a backdrop 2, and I remember from Miss Riley's rubric that it says for me to get 4 points in craftsmanship, I need 1 or more different World War I backgrounds. 1 or more. So this would be 1. I kind of want to do 1 more just to make sure that I get all my points. In my second one, I want to make my own. So I'm going to hit this little paintbrush up here, paint new backdrop. And I want part of my game to be around trench warfare. So I'm going to fill with a color because I want the whole background to look like grass. And grass is green. Cool. But now I need my trenches. So I'm going to paint on my trenches, I think with the brush, because the line will be straight and trenches aren't really always perfectly straight. So let's think. Maybe a trench color, kind of that color. I want a little bit more of a brown. There we go. Some gray. Okay. And then I have to pick my line size. I want it a little thicker because this is a trench. Oof, I want it even thicker than that. Now I'm thinking I kind of want a little bit of a maze in my trench because trenches aren't always even. I'm going to do a little bit of a maze. Now, if you decide you want yours to look differently, feel free. You can always have yours look differently. Way cooler if it does. And then I think I'm going to make a trench over here too. Well, this is going to be the boring side of the war because they have a pretty straight one. There we go. Okay. So, got my trenches, got my opening World War I game screen, which is awesome. And then I have a blank one. We're doing well. So, my next step is my sprites. Now, I remember from the rubric, again, if we look at craftsmanship, Miss Riley wrote that more than one sprite is dressed or looks like is from World War I. A sprite can be any moving object. So it could be my character, my cat character. It could be a ball. It could be something that I'm going to be clicking on if I'm making one of those super awesome clicker games. So you just got to figure out what you want. I don't want a cat, to be honest with you. I don't think a cat's going to fit well in my game. So I'm going to right click and delete, all gone, and make my own sprite. So I want to look what's in the library first. I'm going to click here, choose sprite from library. So I know airplanes didn't really look like that in World War I, so maybe that's kind of an idea. I'm thinking to myself, I did like that the Earth was here. That might be something I could add later to my game. You know, I'm really not seeing a whole lot that looks like it would be part of World War II. So that means I'm going to have to find my own. Click cancel. We're going to go back to Google. World War I, and I think for my trench part, I want a soldier. Now, I look at this and I think, wow, if I had that whole square box running around my screen, don't really like that. I do like the face shot here. Also kind of like this one. And this guy looks like he's in action. These are kind of funny because they're like game pieces. You know, I think for my game, I kind of like his hat. I'm going to go with the one with the hat. So, right click, save image as. And we're going to save it again. And this time I'm going to say soldier so I don't forget what one I am. I'm remembering it's going to the downloads folder. So save it. And here, where my sprites are, I'm going to click upload sprites from file because it's saved to my computer. And there's my soldier. But if you're not finding yours, make sure you click on downloads. Sorry, wrong thing. Downloads. And then you should find your soldier because that's where we saved it to. Oh my goodness, he is way too big for me. So I will click on him. I will click on costumes. And I am going to resize him because that is crazy. And now I have to remember where my resizing tool is. Oh, I don't want that. Okay. I think we should be okay. I just remembered that what we can do is resize this when we start making our code. So let's leave him for now. He'll be big. I'll make him smaller in a minute here in our next video. So your last task was that Ms. Riley told us more than one sprite is dressed or looks like it's from World War I. So if you want, my plan right now is this soldier is going to go through the maze of the trenches. We also are going to make another part where it's a clicker game. So you'll click as many times as you can in 30 seconds. If you would like to add another sprite where you're going to be clicking on them, maybe you want to add the airplane. Maybe you want to add a house. Maybe you want to add a cannonball. For me, I think I'm going to do the cannonball because that sounds awesome. So when I get to the clicker part, I'll be using this cannonball. Right now, this is a pausing point for me. So I'm going to pause the video. If you need some time to figure out what kind of characters or what kind of moving objects you need, your sprites for your game, do that. Just make sure you have more than one sprite that is dressed or looks like it's from World War I, and you have at least one background that looks like it's from World War I also. You could have the same thing as me, but again, we like creativity. We like being different. We don't play the same game every single day for our lives. We like different games. So try to make yours your own.